Hello, this is Mr. Bakri from Toronto International Academy. We are based in Mississauga and Oakville, Ontario, Canada. And in today's video, we're going to be speaking about the Ontario Literacy Test. So the Ontario Literacy Test is a mandatory reading and writing test which is taken by all Ontario students in grade 10. Granted, if they are here in grade 10. If it is an international student that comes after, then they can write it when they arrive in grade 11 or grade 12. Each student has up to 2 attempts at writing the Ontario Literacy Test, and it is a requirement to pass the test before completing high school. And a passing grade on this test is 75%. Okay, so you need to pass this test. If someone writes the test twice and fails it, then they must take the Ontario Literacy course. But it isn't a very hard test, so today we're actually going to be going over the sample of the Ontario Secondary School Literacy Test, also called the OSSLT. So we're actually on the EQAO website. The EQAO website is the Education Quality and Accountability Office, and this website has samples of the questions, of the answers, of the EQAO test, which is taken in grade 10. That's the literacy test that we're going to be speaking about today. There's the grade 9 EQAO math test, which is another standardized test that all Ontario students must take. There's also grade 3 and grade 6, both math and reading, as well as writing. So we're actually going to jump right into the sample. So I just scroll down over here. This is the part of the website, that deals with, so I went from home to the assessments to Ontario Secondary School Literacy Test to examples of the assessments. This is eqao.com, so www.eqao.com/en/assessments/OSSLT. Okay, so if we scroll down over here, we see examples, and under examples, we're going to go into the question booklet. Now you might have noticed here that we actually have a few different years. The EQAO website is generous enough to provide the sample from this year, the sample from last year, the sample from the year before, etc., etc. The literacy test is generally written in March or April every year by grade 10s in Ontario. So after that point, usually the grades are given back by June. So after that point, there are samples available from that year. The samples are actually a very good way to practice if you are a grade 10 student. So if you're worried about the literacy test, if you're going to write it this year or next year, then this is the video for you. And you can definitely go on the website yourself and check out the assessment for examples. Now, they do change the test every year, of course, but the general layout of the test stays the same. So the question booklet will look something like this. On the OSSLT, they'll give you 2 booklets, a question booklet and an answer booklet. And this is a PDF of the 2019 question booklet, so this was the test that was written this year. In order to pass the literacy test, you need to achieve a 75%. So it's not like a typical Ontario test where 50% is the pass rate. You need 75% for this test. If you fail the test the first time, you have to write it a second time. If you fail it the second time, then you have to take the Ontario Literacy course. So this first section, they're expecting you to write 3 paragraphs expressing an opinion on the topic below. Generally, a paragraph is going to have 5 to 7 sentences, and they're going to be marking for your grammar, your sentence structure, your use of punctuation like commas, commas, periods, and they're going to be looking for the substance of your argument as well, the details, the facts, etc. So, do people depend too much on technology? Okay, so they're looking for 3 paragraphs, so you're going to say yes or no, and you're going to give 3 arguments or 3 examples, very similar to an essay. The next section deals with multiple choice. Okay, these are actually quite tricky. I do suggest that you go over each question, spend at least a minute on each question, go over the answers multiple times, because they aren't very easy. Even someone like myself, you know, who's a teacher, I have to sometimes go over it more than once just to make sure that my answer is correct. Okay, they do mark for reading comprehension, so this is an example of a reading, generally 1 page. Do keep in mind that they have the paragraph numbers on the side. That will become important once you start answering questions. Oh, sorry, this one is 2 pages actually. So yeah, you have paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and similarly they may ask you specific questions on the paragraph. So in this question, number 6 over here, they're asking you a question about paragraph 5. Okay. Similarly, here's another reading. This one is shorter, and they ask you questions to make sure that you understand the reading and that you're able to think about it. And in this example, or in this set of questions, you actually have some open response questions as well. So again, they're going to be looking for your writing skills, your full sentences, your grammar, your spelling, okay, your use of punctuation. Okay, and then they usually have some kind of graphic. So this is an example of a graphic. They want you to read the bar graphs over here, the pie graph over here, as well as the other details on this page, the facts, and similarly they have multiple choice questions based on those. Okay, so again, read over your answers very carefully, and you can see how these are generally graded over here. So this section, if you go to scoring guides and sample student responses, this is good for both students and teachers to look at. This actually gives samples for student answers. Oh, okay, this one can't be found. Maybe we'll go to a different year to see what that would look like. This is the 2019 version, so I'm sure they just put it up. Okay, here we go. Scoring rubrics and samples. Yep. So what's great about this test is that they will actually show you how they're going to be marking it. Okay, so code 60 is the highest mark that you can get. Code 10 is the lowest mark that you can get on a long writing topic development section. So this is kind of the lowest that you can get. There's no evidence provided. There's no organization. You can see that they're capitalizing. I do not know if homework improves learning because I have never done any homework. That doesn't really answer the question as to whether homework is useful or not, or whether it's conducive to good learning or not. And you can see that there's barely any use of punctuation. They're capitalizing letters that should not be capitalized. There's no detail. This one is a little bit better. I do think that homework improves learning because when you do homework, to shows you knew to do what it is. So again, a little bit more detailed, but the grammar is not correct. This is a little bit better, etc., etc., and you can go down to code 50, where you have a nice long detailed answer with commas, with correct spelling, with punctuation, and then you have even better. Now remember that it's not always quantity, it's quality. Okay, you want to minimize the amount of errors in your conventions when you're writing. Okay, and you have a few examples of these. So again, you can check this out at the EQAO website. This is Mr. Bakri from T.I.A, and I want you to have a great day and best of luck on your tests. Take care.